Atlantic Broadband Cable, in cooperation with the South Union Township Supervisors, presents the South Union Township Sports Network. Tonight, via live stream, it's American Legion Baseball from Schiffbauer Field in Hutchinson. Tonight, it's the Uniontown American Legion versus the Elizabeth Forward American Legion. Hi, everybody. I'm Tony Hanola with Jerry Dupay, and we welcome you aboard for this evening's game. South Union Township Sports Network coverage is brought to you as a joint cooperative venture featuring Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, Atlantic Broadband Cable, Armstrong Cable, and CUTV with Gary Smith. I'm Tony Hanola with Jerry Dupay, and we're ready for the first pitch. On the mound today for Uniontown is Alex McLean, getting his first Legion start of the year. Batting now for Elizabeth Forward is Nate Radica. There's a shot down to Shearer. Nice play by Cole Shearer to record the out, 5-3. So let's set the batting lineup for Elizabeth. The leadoff hitter was Nate Radica. Second batter will be Michael Burke, playing third base. Batting third will be first baseman Luke Alvarez. Cleanup will be left fielder Caden Facek. Batting fifth will be second baseman A.J. Palmer. Sixth will be the starting pitcher tonight, A.J. Wardroper. Batting seventh, Mitch Lacko. There's a shot by Burke, but right at right fielder Tyler Becker. So Burke is retired on a fly ball. So quickly, 2 outs. And let's finish the lineup here. Batting seventh is Mitch Lacko in right. Batting eighth is Nate Seiske, the catcher. And batting ninth is Jason Raposki, the center fielder. So here's McLean's pitch. Called for a strike, catching the inside corner. We'll set the defense for Uniontown here in a minute. This is Luke Alvarez, the first baseman. There's a shot. It's in the gap. McKnight trying to run it down, but it's going to fall. Alvarez thought about stretching it into a double, but stayed at first. Looks like he's kind of kicking himself right now. So the first hit of the game goes to first baseman Luke Alvarez. Now coming to bat will be Caden Facek. He's the starting left fielder today. So let's go defensively for Uniontown. At third base is Cole Shearer, Tyler Sankovic at short, Santino Mera playing second, Braden O'Brien at first. There's McLean's pitch on the inside. Outfield left to right, C.J. Gesk in left, Braden McKnight in center, and Tyler Becker in right field. Behind the dish today is Caleb Scott, and on the mound, as we mentioned, Alex McLean. There's a pitch to Facek again, missing on the inside. 2 balls and no strikes. There's 2 outs. Just recapping this first inning. Radica led off, grounded out to Cole Shearer on a nice play at third. Michael Burke flew out to right fielder Tyler Becker. Luke Alvarez delivered a single. And now Caden Facek, the left fielder, ahead in the count, 3-0. And he's going to wear that one. So McLean hits Facek on a 3-ball no-strike count. So now runners in scoring position for Elizabeth. And that's going to bring up second baseman A.J. Palmer. Alvarez at second. Facek after getting hit at first. Palmer. Mara trying to keep Alvarez close, and that ball's going to be fouled back out of play. So no balls, 1 strike. McLean out of the stretch. Ball's high. Alvarez, as the ball gets past Caleb Scott, going to make it to third base easily. Also advancing is Faychak. So now Elizabeth with 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs. We're in the top of the first inning. And Palmer looking to pick up a couple quick RBIs in this first inning. There's a shot, foul down the left field line. So 1 ball, 2 strike count, 2 outs. Palmer set for the pitch from McLean. Curveball outside corner, just missed. So the count now at 2-2. This is the first start in the Legion season for McLean. He did get some action for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs during the high school season. As a pitch just missed the corner. McLean was looking for that when he thought it was a strike, and that would have ended the inning, but the man in blue saw different. Payoff pitch. A swing and a miss. So McLean gets out of the first inning after giving up 1 run. So in that inning, there was, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. So after a half an inning of play, it's Elizabeth nothing and Uniontown coming to bat. The South Union Township Sports Network would like to thank our sponsors for making it possible for us to be live streaming this American Legion baseball game. State Farm Insurance Agent Lauren Yeoman at 37 West Main Street in Uniontown. Call 724-592-6308. United Bank, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law. Jason Scott, South Union Township Supervisor. Southwest Gastrointestinal Specialist, SWGI in Uniontown. Zebley, Mahaloff & White, Uniontown Business and Bankruptcy Attorneys, and the Sprouse Insurance Group in Uniontown, and Agent David Hughes. So Elizabeth held scoreless in that first inning, but they did leave 2 men on base. So let's go through the batting order for the Uniontown Legion team. Leading off will be second baseman Santino Mara. He'll be followed by shortstop Tyler Sankovic. Batting third will be third baseman Cole Shearer. In the cleanup spot today will be right fielder Tyler Becker. Batting fifth will be catcher Caleb Scott. Batting sixth will be pitcher Alex McLean. Batting seventh, playing first base, will be Braden O'Brien. Batting eighth will be center fielder Braden McKnight. Batting ninth will be the extra hitter today, Logan Urich. And batting 10th will be C.J. Gesk playing left field. Let's set the defense for Elizabeth. At third will be Michael Burke. Playing short will be Nate Radica. Playing second base will be A.J. Palmer. First base will be Luke Alvarez. The outfield left to right will be Caden Faychek in left. Center field will be Jason Rapaski. And in right will be Mitch Lacko. Behind the plate will be Nate Seiske. And on the mound today will be A.J. Wardroper. There's Mara with the first pitch. Pitch out and away. Uniontown coming into this game 2-0, having won. There's a ground ball to third. Michael Burke with the play. Shoots it over to first. Ball's going to get away from the first baseman, Luke Alvarez. And Mara is going to get to second base easily. So nice play there by Burke, but just couldn't get the throw to go, so we're going to have to score that in E5. And Mara quickly in scoring position for Uniontown. Now batting will be Tyler Sankovic. Sank playing short today. Base coaches today for Uniontown, Joe Bonadio coaching at first, and manager Brad Yeoman at third. Radica trying to keep Mara close. There's a bunt. Gets it down safely. Wardroper only play is going to be at first. So a sacrifice bunt by Sankovic moves the runner up He's retired 1-3. Now Santino Mara at third. And that's going to bring up third baseman Cole Shearer. Shearer had one of the RBIs in yesterday's game. A 2-0 win for Uniontown against Charleroi. And their other win was last Wednesday against Waynesburg, a 12-2 win. And there's Shearer with a rope right at center fielder Jason Rapaski, but he dropped the ball. And we're going to have to give Shearer a hit and an RBI. That was a tough play. That was right at Rapaski out there. Couldn't make the play. Excuse me, that ball was hit so hard he didn't know which way to go. So Shearer with a hit and an RBI. So now that's going to bring up Tyler Becker, and they're going to go out and check to see if Rapaski's okay. Made a nice play on it. The ball was hit extremely hard, and he just didn't know whether to go back or front. Kind of got lost in no man's land there, but looks like he might have bruised his back as he fell trying to make that catch. His dad, the manager, Ted, went out to check on him. But in the meantime, Uniontown jumps out to a quick 1-0 lead as Mara scores on the base hit by Shearer. So now that brings up Tyler Becker. One down. Pitch is high. Count now 1-0 on Tyler Becker. Shearer at first after singling in a run. Picking up his second RBI in as many days. Scheduled to play a doubleheader here tonight. Elizabeth with only 9 players. Here's the pitch to Becker. Pitch catches the outside corner, strike one. So 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. Shearer, the West Virginia Wesleyan Bobcat at first. There's Wardroper's pitch, breaking pitch. Called a strike. Nice pitch, had Becker a little off balance. I think he was looking for the fastball, and Wardroper came in with a nice breaking pitch. So now 1 ball, 2 strikes. They're going to go over and check on Shearer again, but he gets back safely. Luke Alvarez holding him at first. Becker called time, or was it the umpire? It looks like Becker might have called timeout. And there's a shot. Base hit to right. Shearer's just going to stay at second. Coach Yeoman giving him the sign to stick around there. So Becker with the second hit of the game today for Uniontown. That's going to bring up catcher Caleb Scott. Only 1 out. That was on the sacrifice bunt by Sankovic to move Mara into scoring position after he got on an error. Here's the pitch to Caleb. Outside corner, strike 1. Shearer at second. Becker at first after 2 consecutive hits by Uniontown. There's a shot down to third, but gets past Burke. Shearer's going to round it. The play at the plate. No, the throw's going to be into home, but Becker's going to stay at second. Shearer's going to score easily. And Caleb Scott with an RBI single. And Uniontown scores their second run of the game. And that's going to bring up pitcher Alex McLean. So Becker at second. Caleb Scott now at first. Take it back. There's a courtesy runner. It's going to be Patrick Cavanaugh, courtesy running for the catcher, Caleb Scott. And here's McLean. Takes the first pitch for a strike. It was a shot by Scott. Just got past the diving third baseman, Michael Burke. But in for a single and an RBI single to boot. There's a pitch to McLean. McLean takes that one outside. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Still only 1 out. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Elizabeth held scoreless, although they stranded 2 runners in the top of the first, and now Uniontown. Coach Yeoman thought better about snagging that foul ball. It's pretty hot off the bat of McLean. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Alex McLean. Here's the pitch from Wardroper. And there's a shot right at second baseman, but off his glove. All the runners are only going to advance 1 base each. Tough play there for A.J. Palmer. And again, another shot. Another hard hit ball by McLean. So now we're going to have another courtesy runner for the pitcher, McLean. So now bases loaded. That's going to bring up Braden McKnight. McKnight, the winning pitcher for Uniontown in the first 2 games that they played. Pitched 2 complete games. And there's a shot. Burke makes a nice play, steps on the bag and goes home. But not a play at the plate there. So Uniontown going to score another run. Burke with a beautiful play just to get a glove on that ball. So now there's 2 outs. Courtesy runner is Gage Jalot. I'm sorry. Wasn't prepared for that one. So now 4 base hits in a row for Uniontown. And McLean with a nice lead here so far. There's a ball that catches the outside corner for a strike. So O'Brien gets on a fielder's choice. Courtesy runner for McLean. Jalot now able to get to third base. O'Brien with a stolen base, and he's in scoring position. Scott was retired 5 unassisted. And Becker able to score on the last play. So 3 runs across now for Uniontown. There's a swing and a miss by Braid McKnight. McKnight with 2 outs now and a couple runners in scoring position. Logan Urich, the extra hitter, on deck. There's the pitch. It's going to be dribbled down the first baseline. It's going to go foul. So all the runners going to have to retreat. McKnight getting the start today in center field. So Gage Jalot, the courtesy runner at third base. There's the pitch. Up and away to McKnight, and he's going to work a walk. So now, base is loaded, and Logan Urich with a chance to really bust this game open. Uniontown has scored 3 so far. He fouls the first pitch off. Santino Mera led off the inning, got on an error. Sankovic sacrificed him over. For the first out, Cole Shearer with a shot. Delivered an RBI. Becker singled. Caleb Scott singled. There's a pitch that got away, but Jalot, no chance to advance as that ball got past Seiske, but not far enough for him to take a chance to score. So Juric, with the bases loaded, swings and misses. A 1 ball, 2 strikes, and the bases juiced here for Uniontown. There's a swing, stays alive. Juric, the 9th batter for Uniontown in this inning. As we said, we're scheduled to play a doubleheader here today. And Logan Juric gets caught looking. So a big inning for Uniontown as they score 3 runs on 4 hits. There was 1 error, and the bases were left loaded. So after 1 inning of play, it's Uniontown 3 and Elizabeth nothing. The South Union Township Sports Network would like to thank our sponsors for making it possible for us to be live streaming today's American Legion game. The Sprouse Insurance Group in Uniontown and agent David Hughes. Zebley Mahalav and White, Uniontown Business and Bankruptcy Attorneys. Southwest Gastrointestinal Specialist, SWGI in Uniontown. South Union Township Supervisor Jason Scott. Davis and Davis Attorneys at Law. United Bank, and State Farm Insurance Agent Lauren Yeoman, whose office is at 37 West Main Street in Uniontown. Call 724-592-6308. Coming back for the 2nd inning of play for Elizabeth, it'll be Wardroper, Lacko, and Seiske. And Alex McLean staked to a 3-0 lead. Wardroper, today's starting pitcher. McLean able to strand 2 runners in the first. Gave up 1 hit. That was to Luke Alvarez. There's a pitch on the inside. Wardroper had to get out of the way of that one. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Again, high and tight. McLean just missing a spot there a little bit. So 2 balls, no strikes to Wardroper. There's a pitch that catches the outside corner. Nice pitch there by McLean. Right fielder Mitch Lacko waiting on deck. There's a foul and a swing back. Wardroper able to get a piece of that one. And the count evens up now at 2-2. And again, fouled back. Wardroper staying alive. Fouling back the last 2 pitches. Here's McLean's pitch. Breaking pitch, and it's going to get called for a strike. Nice pitch there by McLean. Picks up his 2nd strikeout of the game. He struck out Palmer to end the 1st inning with 2 men in scoring position. Ball thrown in the dugout. Cole Shear getting a kick out of maybe one of his teammates almost getting nailed. So this is going to bring up right fielder Mitch Lacko. Lacko takes the first pitch outside for a ball. The 1-0 pitch. Down and away. So 2 balls. There's a swing and a foul back. Umpire looking for a couple baseballs as they're put out of play. So one down. We're in the top of the second inning. There's a pitch to Lacko, and he's going to hit a dribbler down to Mara at second. Comes up throwing and gets Lacko on a close play at first. Nice play there by Santino Mara. We saw him make a couple beautiful fielding plays yesterday for the Uniontown Legion team against Charleroi. And actually made a fantastic play to end an inning. Cut off a ball that was going up the middle that probably would have scored a couple runs for Charleroi. But Mara with a beautiful play, ranging far to his right to make the play and end the inning. So now with 2 outs, that brings up catcher Nate Seiske. He'll be followed by the 9-hitter, Jason Rapaski. The pitch, ball on the inside. So 2 balls and no strikes to Seiske. McLean working rather quickly here on the mound. That pitch is going to get called for a strike. Count now at 2-1. Two outs. There's another strike. McLean finding the groove now, catching that outside corner on the last 2 pitches. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Breaking pitch and gets him swinging. So McLean picks up his 3rd strikeout of the game. And Elizabeth goes down 1-2-3, so no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base after 1.5. It's Uniontown Legion 3 and Elizabeth Legion nothing. The South Union Township Sports Network would like to thank our sponsors for making it possible for us to live stream today's American Legion baseball game. State Farm Insurance Agent Lauren Yeoman at 37 West Main Street in Uniontown. Call 724-592-6308. United Bank, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law. Jason Scott, South Union Township Supervisor. Southwest Gastrointestinal Specialist, SWGI in Uniontown. Zebley, Mahalovan and White, Uniontown's business and bankruptcy attorneys. And the Sprouse Insurance Group in Uniontown and Agent David Hughes. So as we head to the bottom of the second inning, leading off for Uniontown will be left fielder C.J. Gesk. He'll be followed by the top of the order, Santino Mara and Tyler Sankovic. Gesk getting the start today in left field. He was a courtesy runner in yesterday's contest against Charleroi. That was a beautifully played game yesterday, a 2-0 win. Both pitchers, Lorenzo Glasser for Charleroi and Braden O'Brien. Fantastic work yesterday. Only 8 hits between the 2 teams and only 1 extra base hit, and that was by Tyler Becker in the 6th inning. And a well-played game. And there's a first pitch to Gesk. Going to be outside for ball 1. There's a swing and a foul. Gesk shoots that one down the right side. Going to be tracked down there by Coach Joe Bonadio at first. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's a pitch high. Taken for a ball by Gesk. As we said, we're going to try to get a doubleheader in here. Perfect weather for baseball, though. There's Gesk, a high chopper off of the plate. Wardroper makes the play. Can he get him? And he does. Beautiful play by Wardroper coming off the mound to retire Gesk. A Baltimore chop off of home plate. Probably went about 10 to 15 feet in the air. Wardroper had to wait for it to come down, and he made a beautiful play and a nice strong throw to get C.J. Gesk at first. So 1 out. That's going to bring up the top of the order. It's going to bring up Santino Mara. Mara got on an error his first time up and scored the first run for Uniontown as he was singled in by Cole Shearer. Mara fouls one back. Trails in the count now, 0-2. Santino just completing his freshman year at California. of PA. Here's a Wardroper's 0-2 pitch. Breaking pitch popped up by Mara. Second baseman Palmer calling for it and makes the catch. So Mara going to be retired on a fly out to second baseman A.J. Palmer, and that's going to bring up Tyler Sankovich, shortstop. Sank sacrifice bunted Mara over in that first inning and led to the first run for Uniontown. First pitch just a bit high and outside. So Wardroper looks like he's settling in here a little bit. Tough first inning. Couple hard-hit balls. Plays could have been made, but they would have been extremely tough. And there's a shot and a beautiful catch down there by Luke Alvarez at first to rob Sankovich of a hit down the line. So after scoring 3 in the first, Uniontown goes down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the second. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. After 2 complete, it's the Uniontown American Legion 3, the Elizabeth American Legion nothing. The South Union Township Sports Network would like to thank our sponsors for making it possible for us to be live streaming today's American Legion game. State Farm Insurance Agent Lauren Yeoman, United Bank, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, Jason Scott, South Union Township Supervisor, Southwest Gastrointestinal Specialist, SWGI in Uniontown, Zeb Lee Mahaloff and White, your Uniontown business and bankruptcy attorneys, and the Sprouse Insurance Group in Uniontown with their agent, Mr. David Hughes. So we're going to start the top of the third inning. McLean coming in for his third inning of work. Retired Elizabeth in the last inning, 1-2-3. So leading off will be center fielder Jason Rapaski. He'll be followed by the top of the order, Nate Radica, and Michael Burke as the third hitter. Rapaski with his first at bat here in the game, as we mentioned. Elizabeth only with 9 players here today. A couple players out with injury and 1 out of town, according to the coach before the game. So there's McLean's first pitch, and it's a swing and a miss by Rapaski. So McLean ahead in the count, 0-1. Just misses on the inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ball 2-1 now. McLean's given up 1 single, and that was to Luke Alvarez in the first inning. He also hit a batter, but stranded both of them in the first. Since then has recorded 3 strikeouts out of the last 4 outs. And there's a shot, but it's right at Tyler Sankovich, who's perfectly positioned. So a line out. Rapaski hits the ball on the nose, but it's going to have nothing to show for it. So that's the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up Nate Radica. Ball's in the dirt. So McLean behind in the count. 1 ball, no strikes. Breaking pitch. Getting called for a strike. Beautiful pitch there by McLean. So evens the count now at 1-1. Catches the outside corner on that one. So now 1 ball, 2 strikes. McLean looking to pick up his 4th strikeout here. Barely missed. Ball just missed the outside corner. McLean looking good on the mound so far here today for Uniontown. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Looks like a curveball, and it is. So McLean strikes out Radica, and that's going to be the 4th strikeout for McLean so far here tonight. And that's going to bring up Michael Burke. Burke, the third baseman, he flew out to to right fielder Tyler Becker, his first time up. Waiting on deck will be Luke Alvarez, the first baseman. McLean works at a rapid pace, no doubt. Pitch just missed outside. So the count now at 2-0. There's 2 outs. We're in the top of the third inning. Uniontown with a 3-0 lead. Breaking pitch misses out and away. So the count now 3-0. Burke looking to get on base to keep this inning alive for Elizabeth. And pitch caught the outside corner. Thought it might have been outside a little bit, but McLean gets the call. So now 3 balls, 1 strike. Burke thought about it but laid off, and it was the right thing to do. So he's going to get walked. That's the first base on balls issued by McLean today. He did hit a batter in that first inning, but his first free pass issued. That's going to bring up Luke Alvarez. Alvarez singled in the first and was stranded at third base, along with Caden Faycheck at second to end that first inning. Braden O'Brien holding Burke at first. That pitch is down for ball 1. McLean checking the runner. Big gap on the right side. Santino Mara cheating up the middle. So if Alvarez can shoot one over there, it's definitely going to be a base hit. There's a foul ball down the left field line. Umpire shaking his head, not sure about what, but I think he's actually looking for some baseballs. So McLean shaking off a sign there by catcher Caleb Scott. And there's a pitch, it's a strike. Scott going to throw it down, put it on him. He's going to be safe. Burke nearly picked off. Was caught leaning there a little bit. Able to scramble back in there. Caleb Scott with a nice shot down to first and almost picked him off. So now 1 ball, 2 strikes to Luke Alvarez, and there's a swing. He's going to get called out. So McLean picking up his 5th strikeout and yet stranding another runner. So in the third inning, there will be no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left on. So after 2.5, it's Uniontown American Legion 3 and Elizabeth Legion nothing. Getting ready to start the bottom of the third inning. Batting for Uniontown, leading off will be Cole Shearer. He'll be followed by Tyler Becker and Caleb Scott. Shearer singled in that first inning on a hard-hit ball to center fielder Rapaski, who was unable to make that play, but valiant effort, just couldn't reel it in. So Shearer, as we said, picked up an RBI. Uniontown leading 3-0. They've got 4 hits so far. We retired 1, 2, 3 in the last inning. There's a pitch by Wardroper. Misses high and away. So ball 1 to Cole Shearer. And I inadvertently said on yesterday's broadcast that Shearer was attending Penn State Fayette. He is not. He's actually going to West Virginia Wesleyan, where he got into 12 games last year and got some action as a freshman. There's a strike. So 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Shearer in the hole. Right fielder Tyler Becker waiting on deck. Pitch on the inside. Evens the count now at 2-2. Wardroper in now for starting his third inning of work. There's a dribbler. Burke's going to charge it, but I don't think he's going to get it. Shear with good speed, and the ball was perfectly placed. So now Cole Shearer with 2 hits tonight. He's 2 for 2 and had an RBI in that first inning. So now he's going to be at first on the infield hit, and here comes Tyler Becker. Becker also singled in that first inning. He scored a run as well. Shearer with a decent lead, being held on by Alvarez, and the pitch by Wardroper up and away. 4-1. Becker getting a sign from Brad Yeoman down at third. And there's a pitch. There's a shot. Is it going to get in the gap? And it does. Becker going to get to second easily. Cole Shearer is going to be held at third. So Tyler Becker, with his second double in as many days, puts 2 runners in scoring position for Uniontown. Cole Shearer is able to get to third. Coach Yeoman held him up, especially with no outs. And that's going to bring up catcher Caleb Scott. Scott singled in that first inning and was retired on a nice play by Michael Burke, 5 unassisted at third base. Infield in on the corners. Now take it back. Infield is in all the way around. Men on second and third. There's Scott. He's going to foul that pitch back out of play. Yeah, I thought they were only going to bring the corners in at first, but now the infield in trying to cut the run off. Outfield playing straight away. Here's Wardroper from the stretch. There's a pitch, and Scott able to get it past second baseman A.J. Palmer, and he's going to pick up 2 RBIs. Shearer and Becker both going to score. So Caleb Scott with an RBI single, 2 RBI singles, sorry. And Uniontown now with a 5-0 lead. And Caleb Scott picks up his second and third RBI of the game. Courtesy runner again for Caleb Scott's going to be Pat Cavanaugh. Becker and Shearer able to score. That's going to bring up Alex McLean. He takes the first pitch for a ball. Infield was playing in, and Caleb Scott with a seeing eye single right past a diving second baseman, A.J. Palmer, and able to get it out in the outfield and drive in a couple. Swing and a miss by Alex McLean. As we said, courtesy runner Patrick Cavanaugh at first for Caleb Scott. Cavanaugh able to dive back in. That was kind of interesting. That ball was actually underneath Cavanaugh, it looked like. I'm not exactly sure how Alvarez caught that ball. But Cavanaugh giving the thumbs up sign. Umpire Joe Volpe checking to make sure he's okay. Pitch up and away there from Wardroper. So now 2 balls and 1 strike to McLean. Still nobody out here. We're in the bottom of the third inning. Uniontown tacked on a couple more runs to extend their lead to 5-0. Count now 3-1. You got to wonder with the depleted roster how much pitching Elizabeth actually has. They've only got 9 players today. Cavanaugh, it was pretty close. He got back in there standing up, but probably should have dove back. He made that play a lot closer than it should have been. Alvarez holding him on. There's a pitch from Wardroper up and away. And McLean's going to work a walk. And I'm going to gather that he's probably going to get a courtesy runner as well. So that's the first walk of the game by Wardroper. And again, it's going to bring in Gage Jalot to courtesy run for McLean. So 2 courtesy runners on base. Patrick Cavanaugh at second. Courtesy runner for Caleb Scott. And at first, Gage Gillott, the courtesy runner for the starting pitcher, McLean. And this is going to bring up Braden O'Brien. Got to give a shout-out to Braden's uncle, Uncle Saab, who's actually in Rehoboth. So we feel bad for you. Probably having an adult sports drink on the beach while he's watching the game. There's a pop fly to center coming in. It's going to be Rapaski, and he's able to catch that, but made it a little bit of an adventure. So the runners are going to have to hold as Braden O'Brien flies out to center field. Yeah, Chris asked if we can give a shout-out since we gave it out to his dad yesterday. So his brother was complaining he didn't get one on the beach at Rehoboth, so it's no wonder we didn't give him one. We know he's on the beach having a good time. There's a pitch to Braden McKnight. First pitch called for a strike. So now 1 out. 2 runs across here so far in this bottom of the 3rd inning. There's a shot right back at Wardroper off his foot, and McKnight's going to make it to first base easily. Here's a throw over, and the ball's going to get away. Cavanaugh is going to be able to advance to home to score another run. Alvarez made the throw over to Michael Burke, and he was unable to gather it in. So now courtesy runner Cavanaugh is going to score. The other courtesy runner, Gillott, he's going to get to home as well on a 2-base overthrow out of play. So now after the infield hit, Braden McKnight is going to be on third. So 2 more runners in. And the lead now, it's 7-0 for Uniontown. That's going to bring up Logan Urich. Urich got caught looking his first time up. Still only 1 out. Fly ball by O'Brien. And it wasn't deep enough to bring anybody in. So here's a pitch to Urich way out in front of that curveball. Wardroper really not pitching a bad baseball game at all, just having bad luck. A couple plays that probably should have been made. And even that last play, he just didn't have a chance to glove it as it hit off his leg. And McKnight was able to get the first. So Urich is going to go down on strikes. So that's the second strikeout of the game for Wardroper, and it's going to bring up C.J. Gesk. Gesk was retired on a nice defensive play by Wardroper his first time up. He dribbled the ball off a home plate. It probably got as high as 15 feet in the air. Wardroper came off the mound, made a beautiful play, and threw a strike to Alvarez at first to retire Gesk. So here's Guest coming up with 2 outs and a runner on scoring position. McKnight thought about going, but he's going to retreat back to third base. Ball nearly got past catcher Nate Seiske. So Guest, here's the pitch. Ball down and away. We talked to Coach Rapaski before the game, and he said that he's got a pretty young team out there on the field. And was a little bit worried about the hitting by Uniontown. That's a strike to Gesk. So far, Uniontown with 8 hits in this game. We've only played 2 2/3. There's a pitch up and in. Gesk leans out of the way. 2 down, Santino Mera waiting on deck. There's Wardroper's pitch, and back up the middle. Palmer with a beautiful play. Can he get up and throw him out? And he does. Absolutely beautiful play by A.J. Palmer at second base to retire Gesk on a hard-hit ball that I thought was going to get up the middle. But Palmer with a diving stop able to get to his feet and make the play. So in that 3rd inning, Uniontown scored 4 runs on 4 hits. There was 1 error, and there was 1 man left on. So after 3 complete, it's the Uniontown Legion 7 and Elizabeth Legion nothing. The South Union Township Sports Network would like to thank our sponsors for making it possible for us to live stream today's American Legion game. State Farm Insurance Agent Lauren Yeoman at 37 West Main Street in Uniontown. Call 724-592-6308. United Bank, Davis & Davis, attorneys at law. Jason Scott, South Union Township Supervisor. Southwest Gastrointestinal Specialist, SWGI in Uniontown. Zebley, Mahalovan White, Uniontown's business and bankruptcy attorneys, and the Sprouse Insurance Group in Uniontown, and Agent David Hughes. So we're going to go into the top of the fourth inning. Leading off for Elizabeth will be Caden Faycheck. He'll be followed by A.J. Palmer and A.J. Wardroper. So Elizabeth looking for their first run. They do have one hit in the game, and that was Alvarez in the first, but have pretty much been blanked. McLean with 4 strikeouts in the last 2 innings. So here's Faycheck. Faycheck got hit on a 3-0 count his first time. I've got hit right in the back. First pitch is going to be a strike. So McLean coming out for the fourth inning. Strike 2 right down the heart. Uniontown has gotten 2 solid games. Actually, Braden O'Brien was a starting pitcher in both games. Pitched 2 complete games for Uniontown, beating Waynesburg 12-2. And then yesterday beating Charleroi 2-0. So he's only given up 2 runs over 2 games. Was able to save a lot of pitching for Uniontown as well. So there's McLean with the breaking pitch and Faycheck out in front. And he's going to go down swinging. So strikeout number 6 for McLean. That's going to bring up A.J. Palmer. Palmer struck out his first time up. Palmer with a beautiful play there to end that last inning, getting Gesk on a diving stop. There's a pop-up out of play. So count 0-1. McLean with 6 strikeouts, 1 base on ball so far, and he hit a batter. Only giving up 1 hit. There's a ball up and away. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Wardroper on deck. Pitch called for a strike. McLean. A 1 ball, 2 strike count. Shaking off Caleb Scott. He's going to throw a breaking pitch here. No, it goes back to the fastball. It's going to be fouled off into the Uniontown dugout. So the count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's 1 out. We're in the 4th inning. Uniontown with a 7-0 lead over Elizabeth. Breaking pitch down in the dirt. Evens the count up now at 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's a pitch. Misses on the inside corner, gets away from Scott, but no problem there. Nobody on base for Elizabeth. Infield and outfield, both straight away. 2-2 pitch. 3-2 pitch. Palmer's going to work a walk. McLean not happy with himself there. Issues his second pass ball of the game. That's going to bring up A.J. Wardroper. Wardroper struck out his first time up. And he's going to wear that one. So Wardroper going to get hit right below the neck. So that's going to be the second hit batter. And now Coach Brad Yeoman going to call a timeout to go out and talk, maybe settled down McLean a little bit. He looks a little bit upset after hitting his second batter of the game. He was ahead in the count to Palmer, 1-2. And then lost him to a walk. So now Coach Yeoman going out just to settle him down a little bit. Mitch Lacko coming to the plate. Lacko grounded out to second baseman Santino Mera, his first time up. The meeting on the mound. So Mitch Lacko, he'll be followed by Nate Seiske, the catcher. Still only one out. Facek retired via the strikeout, the first batter in this inning. Palmer worked a walk, and then Wardroper gets hit by a pitch. So now here's Lacko with a runner in scoring position. That's a balk. And now we got it. He said the umpires, there's a balk called, but it looks like Joe Volpe might have called time. So the umpires are going to confer. So there's some miscommunication here. McLean saying that the umpire had called timeout. So they're battling back and forth, but it's going to be a balk. So now 2 runners in scoring position again for Elizabeth Forward. They had 2 runners in scoring position in the first. Now that looks like that might have raised the ire a little bit of McLean. Tried to overthrow that pitch a little bit and missed wide outside. So the count 1-0. There's a fastball right down the middle of the plate. So base on ball, hit by a pitch, and then a balk, putting 2 runners in scoring position for Elizabeth here with 1 out. There's the pitch, and it's going to be fouled back by Lacko. So the count now, 1-2. Only 1 out. Uniontown with a 7-0 lead. We're in the top of the 4th. Here comes McLean. Fastball just misses on the outside corner. Caleb Scott was thinking about going to second base. You had both Mara and Sankovic trying to sneak behind the runner Wardroper. Now McLean going to go to the windup. Going to be a ball down and low. So full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. There's 1 out. And here's the payoff pitch for McLean. And that ball's going to be taken low and away. So Lacko is going to draw a walk. And that's going to load up the bases. That's going to bring up Nate Seiske. Seiske retired via the strikeout his first time at bat. Jason Rapaski waiting on deck. So now a big challenge here for McLean to get out of this inning without allowing a run. As the first pitch is going to get called for a strike on the inside corner. McLean struck out the first batter in this inning. And then a walk, a hit by a pitch and a walk. Loads the bases for Elizabeth. There's a pitch. Misses inside. Now the count evens up at 1-1. McLean working from the windup. There's a pitch, just misses low. Coach Yeoman telling him, quit aiming and throw the ball. So here's the pitch from McLean. Taken down and in. Count should be 2 balls, 1 strike. McLean now going to work from the stretch. Sorry. That was ball 4. So the count was 3-0. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. And McLean is going to walk in a run. So an RBI walk by Seiske as A.J. Palmer scores the first run of the game for Elizabeth. Still only one out, and the base is juiced. That's going to bring up Jason Rapaski. Rapaski hit a shot last time up, but it was right at Braden McKnight in center field. Chance to bring Elizabeth back into this game. McLean's pitch up and in. Throw going to be throw down to home. Sorry about that. I was watching the base runner more than the throw down, so Caleb Scott threw the ball down to second base, trying to pick off the runner Lacko. And on the play, Wardroper breaks for home and scores the run. So 2 runs in now and still only 1 out. Rapaski at bat. Not exactly sure what the thought was there by Scott. Even if you picked him off, you still only have 2 outs in the inning. And the runner was definitely going to be breaking, so not so sure what the thinking was there. There's a shot. Is it going to leak in? It's breaking away from Becker in right. He corrals it. It's going to make a nice throw in. The ball's going to be cut. The runner's going to be held at third. So a base hit by Rapaski again loads the bases for Elizabeth. And now, again, runners in scoring position. Lacko at third, Seiske at second, and Rapaski at first. And that's going to bring up leadoff hitter Nate Radica. He takes a first pitch for a strike. So after striking out the first batter of this inning, Facek, Palmer walked. Wardroper hit by a pitch. Lacko and Seiske both walk, and then Rapaski with a single down into the right field line that Becker made a nice play to get to and hold the runners. There's a pop-up. It's going to be infield fly rule. The batter is going to be out no matter what. Braden O'Brien drifts back to make the catch. So a big out there, the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up third baseman Michael Burke. Burke flew out to right field his first time up and then walked his second time up and was stranded in that third inning. So the base is juiced, 2 outs, and we're in the top of the fourth. Uniontown trying to get out of a jam here. Here's the pitch to Burke. Pitched outside, ball 1. McLean working from the windup. That pitch also outside. Caleb Scott fakes a throw down to second. Looks like he might have been trying to catch Lacko off at third as Cole Shearer snuck in behind the runner, but Lacko able to see through that decoy. There's a pop foul out of play. So Burke fighting right now. We're going to have a change. Not sure if Coach Yeoman saw something, but maybe he's looking for the pitch count or whatever it is, but we're going to have a switch. We're going to have Gage Gillott going to center field. Braden McKnight going to come in to pitch for Alex McLean. An interesting switch in the middle of a batter. Don't see that very often. But as we said, maybe it was because of a pitch count that Coach Yeoman is taking this to try to save some innings for McLean. So McKnight going to get the call. As we said, Gage Gillott, who was in as a courtesy runner, is going to go into McLean's spot. So he'll bat in his spot behind Scott in the batting order. So he will be in coming in the fourth inning. 2 outs. bases loaded. And as you can see, Coach Yeoman had his pitch counter in hand. So I'm going to guess that was more of a pitch count than anything else. So Braden McKnight seeing his first Legion action of the year. As we said, the first two games, Braden O'Brien pitched 2 complete games for Uniontown and 2 wins. One a 12-2 win over Waynesburg, and the other a 2-0 win yesterday over Charleroi. So first pitchers other than O'Brien to see any action on the hill for Uniontown so far this Legion season. So infield remains the same. Shearer remains at third, Sankovic at short, Mara at second base, and O'Brien stays at first. Outfield now, C.J. Gesk, Gage DeLotte, and Tyler Becker from left to right. So McKnight and Scott going to get together, go over the signs. There's 2 outs in the count. 2 balls and 1 strike on Michael Burke. Here's going to be the first pitch from McKnight with the bases loaded. Burke takes that one outside. Tough situation to bring a guy in, especially somebody coming in from center field. Really hasn't thrown the ball around much. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That's going to be a walk. So that run is going to be credited to McLean. And that's going to give Burke an RBI. So now 3 runs across as Mitch Lacko scores. And that's going to bring up Luke Alvarez. Alvarez with one of the 2 hits so far for Elizabeth. There's a dribbler right off the fence here down the third baseline. The walk will be credited to McLean as well because it was a 2-1 count. So the run and the walk still credited to him. The runner at third, Seiske, as well as the runner at second, Raposki, are also McLean's responsibility as of right now. There's a shot straight up. Left fielder Gesk going to settle underneath it and make the catch. So Elizabeth bats around and able to score 3 runs on only 1 hit. There was no errors, and they were 3 men left on base. So after 3.5, it's Uniontown 7 and Elizabeth 3. The South Union Township Sports Network would like to thank our sponsors for making it possible for us to be live streaming today's American Legion baseball game. Sprouse Insurance Group in Uniontown and agent David Hughes. Zebley Mahaloff and White, Uniontown Business and Bankruptcy Attorneys. Southwest Gastrointestinal Specialist, SWGI in Uniontown. Jason Scott, South Union Township Supervisor. Davis & Davis, Attorneys at Law, United Bank, and State Farm Insurance Agent Lauren Yeoman. So Wardroper coming out to start his 4th inning of work here. And in this inning, he's going to face the top of the order, Santino Mara. He'll be followed by Tyler Sankovic and Cole Shearer. The lead cut now down to 4. Uniontown scored 3 in the first, 4 in the 3rd inning, and Elizabeth came back with 3 runs here in the top of the 4th to cut into this lead. As we said, scored 3 runs with only 1 hit, aided by 4 bases on balls, a hit batter, and a balk. And still stranded 3 runners. So now Santino Mara 0 for 2 on the day. Got on air in his first at bat. popped out to second baseman A.J. Palmer on his second at bat. As we said, he'll be followed by Tyler Sankovic and Cole Shearer. Here's Wardroper. That ball's going to be hit down into the dugout, and it's going to bounce back into play. Santino looking in to make sure his teammates are okay. So Mara now 1 ball, 1 strike count. Here's Wardroper's pitch. Curveball. Going to get called for a strike. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Santino Mara leading off the inning for Uniontown. There's a 1-2 pitch, and Mara pops it up to left. Coming in to make the play is Caden Faychek. So Faychek able to make the catch and retire Santino Mara for the first out of the bottom of the 4th inning. So here comes Tyler Sankovic. Sankovic sacrifice bunted Mara over in the first inning and then lined out on a nice play to Luke Alvarez in the second. First pitch to him is a strike. Wardroper doing a little maintenance on the mound. He's definitely settled down after that first inning. There's a shot by Sankovic, and it's going to get in a gap. On the chase there was Mitch Lacko, but he couldn't make the catch. Sankovic going to get into second base standing up. So Tyler Sankovic with a double. And that's going to put him in scoring position and bring up Cole Shearer. Shearer 2 for 2 so far today. Picked up an RBI in the first, and he scored 2 runs for Uniontown. As we said, had an RBI in yesterday's game against Charleroi. There's a pitch from Wardroper, and there's a shot's going to be played there at short by Radica and make a nice play. Sankovic able to get the third, but beautiful play there by Radica to get Shearer and record the second out of the inning. So 2 down, Sankovic at third, and that's going to bring up cleanup hitter Tyler Becker. Becker 2 for 2 on the day as well. He singled his first time up and doubled second time, and he's also scored 2 runs. There's a shot, and is it going to get in the corner? Lacko on the run. Nice catch. Mitch Lacko with a beautiful running catch to rob Tyler Becker of extra bases and an RBI. So Lacko with a beautiful catch out there, and that's going to retire Uniontown. So in that inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left. After 4 complete, it's Uniontown 7 and Charleroi 3. The South Union Township Sports Network would like to thank our sponsors for making it possible for us to live stream today's American Legion baseball game. State Farm Insurance Agent Lauren Yeoman, United Bank, Davis & Davis, Attorneys at Law, Jason Scott, South Union Township Supervisor, Southwest Gastrointestinal Specialist, SWGI in Uniontown, Zebley Mahalovan White, Uniontown's business and bankruptcy attorneys, and Sprouse Insurance Group in Uniontown and agent David Hughes. So we can close the book on McLean. McLean gives up 3 runs, all earned on only 2 hits. He had 6 strikeouts, but he had 5 bases on balls and 2 hit batsmen in his 3+ innings of work. So now Braden McKnight coming on. As we said, he came into a tough situation there, coming into a 2-1 count against Michael Burke with the bases loaded. Threw 2 balls and walked in a run. But now Caleb Scott let that pitch go past him. He flipped him a ball. McKnight almost got hit in the noggin with it. So here's McKnight's last warm-up pitch. Caleb Scott going to take it down to second. Coming up to bat for Elizabeth, leading off for the second inning in a row, is going to be Caden Facek. Facek hit by a pitch his first time up and struck out to lead off that fourth inning. Here's McKnight's pitch. Ball outside. So 1 ball, no strikes. This pitch going to be fouled away by Facek. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Waiting on deck, A.J. Palmer. McKnight's pitch up and in. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Just finishing the book, like I said, on McLean. There's a ball going to be fouled away. And that's going to be off the instep of Facek. And he's feeling that one. Going to try to walk it off. The umpire going to go out and talk to McLean for a little bit, telling him find which baseball you like, trying to give him a little chance to shake that one off. Fouled it right off his instep. Still taking a little time. Caleb Scott telling him to walk around a little bit. He's saying he's okay. So 2-2 count. There's McKnight getting the sign. Rocks and deals. Ball's going to be down and away. So works the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Caden Facek. There's the payoff pitch. The ball's going to be hit to Sankovic. A 1 hopper at short. Makes the throw over to O'Brien. Records the out. Actually, looks like there might have been a change over there. It looks like Brant Bonadio is now at first. Came in for O'Brien. Sorry we didn't catch that. We weren't informed, but he's going to come in to play first base. So Brant Bonadio enters the game, and Sankovic able to get an out. First pitch swinging. Cole Shearer makes a nice backhanded play. Fires it across the diamond to Bonadio. And now quickly 2 outs. Now that's going to bring up Ward Roper. Ward Roper struck out his first time up and got hit by a pitch and actually scored a run in that last inning for Elizabeth. So 2 ground ball outs recorded by McKnight here in the top of the 5th inning. And that pitch is called for a strike. On deck, Mitch Lacko. So he said scheduled to play 2 here. There's a ball fouled out of play down the right field line. Here's the pitch. Ball just misses on the outside corner. So McKnight trying to get a 1-2-3 inning here. Elizabeth was retired 1-2-3 in the 2nd inning. Ball away. So here's McKnight's pitch. Ball going to be fouled off. So they're going to switch that one out. So Wardroper staying alive. Ball's going to be thrown out of play after hitting the concrete wall in the back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's a pitch to Wardroper. Ball inside. Barely missed. So the count now full. McKnight trying to get out of this inning. Here's the payoff pitch. Ball down and away. So McKnight with his first walk of the game. Wardroper reaches base for the second inning in a row. Last inning he was hit by a pitch, and this time he walked. So that's going to bring up Mitch Lacko. Lacko grounded out to Santino Merritt second the first time up and walked and scored a run in that fourth inning. The ball's going to be up and away. So McKnight, after retiring Faycheck and Palmer on about 4 pitches, now struggling a little bit. Bonadillo holding. Wardroper at first. We said Bonadillo came into the game for O'Brien. Here's McKnight's pitch, up and away. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Braden McKnight trying to get out of this inning. Ball high and away. On deck, catcher Nate Seiske. And as we mentioned, Elizabeth only with 9 players today. There's a swing, and it's going to be a flare out to left field. It's going to fall in front of C.J. Gesk. So Mitch Lacko with a base hit. Only the 3rd hit of the game for Elizabeth, but keeps the inning alive. Sends Wardroper to second. Now Nate Seiske. Seiske struck out his first time, walked the second time up. Was actually stranded at third base in that last inning when Elizabeth was able to plate 3 runners but left the bases loaded. So now runners at first and second. And Seiske trying to pick up another run here. He's going to pop that one up and out of play. Going to land on top of the concession stand. Jason Rapaski waiting on deck. As we said, Elizabeth has scored 3 runs on only 3 hits so far. We're aided by walks. 6 walks and a couple hit batters and a balk. Here's McKnight's pitch. Down and in. Wardroper at second being decoyed back there by Santino Mera. Mitch Lacko after getting a base hit at first. There's a dribbler. It's going to be a foul ball. Hits Seiske while he's in the box. Seiske looked like he might have caught one. Not exactly sure where, but he's trying to shake it off. So the umpire going to give him a little bit of time. Trying to get his senses there a little bit. Looks like it might have hit him on the inside of the right leg, but not exactly sure. He's ready to go now. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Nate Seiske. There's the pitch. It's going to be popped up. It's going to be out of play. Rattles around in the bleachers. So Seiske able to stay alive. Braden McKnight, as we set in for his second inning of work, he came in mid-count with Michael Burke, bases loaded. Had a 2-1 count when they brought him in. That pitch misses outside. So now 2 balls, 2 strikes. McKnight agrees with the sign. Here's the pitch. And the runners are going. But McKnight able to get Seiske to strike out. So McKnight records his first strikeout, and that was a big one. Left 2 runners on base in that inning. So in the top of the 5th, there were no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. So after 4.5, it's Uniontown Legion 7, Elizabeth Legion 3. These teams are scheduled to play a doubleheader here tonight. So 2 7-inning tilts. Ward Roper still coming in. He'll be pitching in the 5th inning. As we said, not sure how much pitching Elizabeth actually has here today. They only have 9 players. So I would imagine that they're going to be a little short on pitching, especially in this second game. There's a throw down by Seiske. So leading off in the bottom of the 5th inning for Uniontown will be Caleb Scott. He'll be followed by Gage Delott, who came in the game when the pitching change was made, and then Brant Bonadillo. And there's a first pitch swinging by Scott. Ball popped up. Going to be caught there by second baseman A.J. Palmer to record the first out. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Uniontown. This is going to bring up Gage Delott. Delott, one of a couple players from Connellsville to be on the roster for Uniontown, since Connellsville did not have a Legion team this year. He joins fellow Connellsville players Bo Bigham, Brant Bonadillo, as we mentioned, Jalot, and Cole Shearer able to come over because Connellsville did not field a Legion team this year. So here's Jalot's first at bat. Ball up and in. Nearly caught the bat for a strike. Uniontown leading 7-3. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Ball outside. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Jalot. Waiting on deck, as we said. Another Connellsville player, Brant Bonadillo. There's a shot, and that's going to get in the gap. It's going to be over the head of Jason Rapaski. Jalot trucking around second. They're going to try to get him to third. The play going to be a third. Nice throw there, but he's going to be able to slide in safely. So Gage Jalot checks in the game and triples. So now with that extra base hit, and that was a shot. No chance for Rapaski to make a play on that. So Gage Jalot with the triple. And now with 1 out, it's going to bring up Brant Bonadillo. Bonadillo, his first trip to the plate, he also checked in the 5th inning for Braden O'Brien. Infield is in, and there's a ball that's hit deep. Going back. Going to be off the base of the wall. Facek trying to get there, but just couldn't. And now back-to-back extra base hits. Bonadillo with an RBI double. And that's going to plate Gage Jalot. So Uniontown tacks on an insurance run. Score now 8-3. And that's going to bring up Braden McKnight. McKnight 1 for 1 today. He walked his first time up and then singled his second time up. So Bonadillo and Jalot coming off the bench with back-to-back extra base hits. Ball high. Waiting on deck. Looks like another sub, if they can check him in, is Patrick Cavanaugh. He may be batting here for the extra hitter, Logan Urich. There's a shot. It's going to get in. Yeoman's going to hold up Bonadillo. He really couldn't do anything because the ball was hit to the left side of the infield here and got through the hole between Radica and Burke. So now 3 consecutive hits. McKnight now 2 for 2 on the day. That's going to get Bonadillo to third. McKnight going to run for himself. Kind of surprised they're not going to courtesy runner for him. And it is going to be Patrick Cavanaugh batting for Logan Urich. So Cavanaugh with his first at bat comes up with runners in scoring position. Ball taken. And McKnight easily stealing second base to place 2 runners in scoring position. So now Patrick Cavanaugh looking for a big base hit here. Swings and misses at the breaking pitch. Waiting on deck is C.J. Gesk. So Uniontown with 1 run here. And again, Elizabeth playing the infield in. At strike 3. Cavanaugh gets caught looking. So that's going to be the 3rd strikeout of the game for Wardroper. And oddly enough, all of those coming by the number 9 hitter. So the infield now back to regular depth with 2 outs, and here comes C.J. Gesk. Gesk takes that first pitch for a strike. Waiting on deck, top of the order, Santino Mara. So 2 runners in scoring position for Uniontown, as they're up 5 right now, but trying to make it more. Gesk takes that pitch for a strike as well. So now quickly behind in the count, 0-2. Wardroper trying to get out of a jam here and only give up 1 run. Gesk with a shot, flares it out to right, and Lacko, nice-looking defensive right fielder, makes the catch. So C.J. Gesk is going to be retired, and 2 men are going to be stranded, but not before Uniontown scores 1 run on 3 hits. There were no errors, 2 men left on. So after 5 complete, it's the Uniontown American Legion team 8, Elizabeth Forward 3. South Union Township Sports Network would like to thank our sponsors for making it possible for us to be live streaming today's American Legion game. State Farm Insurance agent Lauren Yeoman, United Bank, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, Jason Scott, South Union Township Supervisor, Southwest Gastrointestinal Specialist, SWGI in Uniontown, Zebley, Mahalovan White, Uniontown Business and Bankruptcy Attorneys, and the Sprouse Insurance Group in Uniontown, and agent David Hughes. So as we go to the top of the 6th inning, it's Uniontown tacking on another run to increase their lead to 5. Uniontown has scored 3 in the first, 4 in the 3rd, and now 1 in the 5th. Elizabeth scoring all 3 of their runs in the 4th inning via only 1 hit. So Braden McKnight, who came on in relief of Alex McLean, trying to seal this victory now for Uniontown. As we said, scheduled to play a doubleheader. So leading off will be Jason Rapaski. He'll be followed by the top of the order, Nate Radica and Michael Burke. Rapaski singled his last at bat and lined out to center fielder McKnight at the time on a hard hit ball, but it was just right at him. So Rapaski's had a pretty nice day at the plate for Elizabeth. McKnight jumps ahead in the count, 0-1. Breaking pitch. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Down. Nice stop there by Caleb Scott. As we said, Coach Yeoman has not had to go to his bullpen much. Braden O'Brien, 2 complete games in the first 2 contests for Uniontown. There's a swing and a miss by Rapaski. O'Brien able to pitch 2 complete games, so Yeoman didn't have to go to his bullpen at all today. McLean got through 3 1/3, and then they had to bring in McKnight, and there's a strike. Breaking pitch taken by Rapaski for a strikeout. That's the second strikeout recorded by McKnight. And that's going to bring up Nate Radica. Radica 0 for 3 today. He grounded out to third baseman Cole Shearer his first time up, struck out in the 3rd inning, and then popped out to Braden O'Brien in his last at bat. Be followed by Michael Burke. Ball down in the dirt. So here's the pitch to Radica. There's a dribbler down at third. Shearer makes the play. Strong throw over. Nice throw by Shearer. Showed off the cannon that he has. And he's able to retire Radica for the second time in this game. 5-3. So now with 2 outs, Michael Burke is going to come to bat. Shearer, a couple nice plays over at third here today. Showed off the rifle. As we said, he goes to West Virginia Wesleyan. I'm sure he's going to get some time. He did as a freshman. I'm sure he's going to get some time as a sophomore. Having a good year here so far for the Uniontown Legion team. It's the first pitch to Burke, up and away. Ball 1. Activity down in the Elizabeth bullpen. Can't really tell who that is. There's a shot by Burke. Oh, nice glove there by Tyler Sankovic. Goes up the ladder to make a beautiful catch on a well-hit ball by Burke. Took 2 steps to his left and skied to make that play. So beautiful play by Sankovic to end that inning. So Elizabeth goes down 1-2-3. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. And that inning ends on a beautiful play by Tyler Sankovic. So we've played 5.5. It's Uniontown Legion 8, Elizabeth Legion 3. Leading off for Uniontown this inning will be Santino Mary. He'll be followed by Tyler Sankovic, who just made that spectacular defensive play. And Cole Shearer will be in the 3rd hole. Umpire looking for the baseball, but Sankovic tossed it to the mound. So now we have a new pitcher. Not exactly sure who this is.
6. Number 6.
Yeah, I'm not exactly. I didn't get the numbers from the coach.
Oh.
And they have made some changes. I can see that. It looks like Burke's now in left field. Looks like he's made some defensive changes. Palmer has moved from 2nd to 3rd. Wardroper looks like he's in center field now. We're kind of playing this by ear, so please forgive us. Alvarez. Oh, no, I take it back. Wardroper is going to be at first. Looks like they're going to switch Alvarez to third base. We'll find out who this pitcher is here in a minute. I think they said it was going to be catcher Nate Seiske, if I'm not mistaken. So leading off for Uniontown will be Santino Mera. He'll be followed by Tyler Sankovic and Cole Shear. So that'll close the book out on Wardroper. He gives up 8 runs, and all of them were earned. He gave up 12 hits. He struck out 3 batters. And he issued only 1 base on ball. I'm sorry, 2. Take that back. He walked McKnight in the first inning as well. So pitch is 5 complete, and he's a pitcher of record. So there's the pitch to Mara. Going to be called for a strike. Mara 0 for 3 on the day. There's a shot. Going to be played at short by Radica. Nice throw over. So Mara is going to be retired 6-3. So Santino 0 for 4 today. That's going to bring up Tyler Sankovic. Sank made that beautiful play at the end of the last inning. Sankovic 1 for 2 here today. He sacrificed his first time up. Lined out to first baseman Luke Alvarez at the time. Second time at bat and doubled and was stranded in that 4th inning. Ball out and away. So Cole Shearer tracks that one down. Shearer waits on deck. Shearer 2 for 3 today. We said Uniontown has pounded out hits, and there's Sankovic again with another hit. Is it going to get through? No, nice play out there by Burke to get that ball in and hold Sankovic to a single. So now back-to-back hits and 2 plate appearances for Sankovic. So he's at first. And Cole Shearer coming to bat. As we said, he's got 2 hits today, 2 for 3. RBI, and he's also scored a couple runs. Sankovic with a decent lead being held on by Wardroper, who checked in at first. There's a foul back. Shearer, he was looking for the downs on that one. Big cut. So he was looking to take that one yard. So 1 out. We're in the 6th inning. We'll play 7. There's a throw over, but Sankovic able to get back easily. We can set the infield here for Elizabeth. Now it's going to be Alvarez at 3rd. Radica still at short. Palmer at 2nd. There's a dribbler down to short. Radica took a crazy hop. Really couldn't do much. That ball had a lot of spin on it. Regretfully, we're going to have to give him an error, but that ball had a ton of spin on it. And Shearer going to be able to get to first, and Sankovic makes it to second base easily. So now it's going to bring up Tyler Becker. Becker 2 for 3, actually should be 3 for 3. Got robbed on a beautiful play by Lacko out in the right field in the last at bat in the 4th inning. Singled in the first, doubled in the 3rd. So he's also scored 2 runs. As we said, Lacko made a great running catch to rob Becker of a hit down in the corner in right in his last at bat in the 4th. And there's a shot there right at Rapaski. And he's going to make the catch, and he's going to double Sankovic off second. So beautiful play. Sankovic thought that ball was going to get in, so Becker's going to be retired on a line out to Rapaski. And Sankovic is going to be retired 8-4 to end the inning. So Uniontown, after starting out promisingly with a hit and an error, end up with no runs on one hit. As we said, there was one error and one man left on. So after 6 complete, we're going to the top of the 7th. It's Uniontown 8 and Elizabeth 3. South Union Township Sports Network would like to thank our sponsors for making it possible for us to be live streaming today's American Legion game. The Sprouse Insurance Group in Uniontown and agent David Hughes. Sebley, Mahalovan White, Uniontown Business and Bankruptcy Attorneys. Southwest Gastrointestinal Specialist, SWGI in Uniontown. Jason Scott, South Union Township Supervisor. Davis & Davis, Attorneys at Law. United Bank, and State Farm Insurance Agent Lauren Yeoman, who is at 37 West Main Street in Uniontown. Call her at 724-592-6308. So we're headed to the top of the 7th inning. The last chance for Elizabeth. They'll send Luke Alvarez, Caden Faycheck, and A.J. Palmer to the dish, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. We said Elizabeth scored all 3 of their runs in the 4th inning. So now they're looking to extend this game a little longer. As we said, we're going to scheduled here for a doubleheader today. Braid McKnight in relief of Alex McLean. So Uniontown looking to pick up their 3rd win of the season. Here comes Luke Alvarez. Alvarez 1 for 3 here today. Singled his first time up, struck out, and flew out to Gesk and left. His last time at bat. There's a shot. Guest drifting back. Ball's going to be over his head. So Alvarez is going to pick up his 2nd hit of the game. Sankovic went out for the relay throw and lost that ball in the sun. So Alvarez leads off this inning with a double. That's the first extra base hit for Elizabeth Forward here today. So Alvarez at 2nd, nobody out. That's going to bring up Caden Faycheck. Faycheck 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch his first time up, struck out, and grounded out to Sankovic at short. Now he's in the hole. 0-1. McKnight with the pitch. There's a shot. Is it going to stay fair? And it does stay fair. So Alvarez will score easily. And now Faycheck checks in with a double. So without having an extra base hit the whole game. Now Elizabeth Forward back-to-back, and they pick up a run and cut the lead in half to 8-4. It's still nobody out. So there's a RBI double by Faycheck. Excuse me. That's going to bring up A.J. Palmer. Palmer with a dribbler down third base, foul. So Palmer on the day, he's 0 for 2. He struck out, walked in the 4th inning, and scored the first run for Elizabeth Forward. Then he grounded out to Cole Shearer at 3rd, his last time up. So now with another runner in scoring position, he pulls another one foul down the line. That's going to get out of play. So Palmer now behind in the count, 0-2. And still nobody out. McKnight trying to end this game for Uniontown to pick up their 3rd win, but right now in a little bit of trouble. He's going to step off, try to keep Faycheck in line. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Palmer. Again, fouls another one off. Out of play. They're going to scare everybody.
Got another car.
Everybody's enamored because it hit a window. So, and there you go. Palmer staying alive, a nice at bat. Ball's going to be outside. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Palmer fouled off 4 consecutive pitches. Now looking for another good pitch to drive and possibly bring in the 5th run here for Elizabeth. Fouls a piece off and it catches Caleb Scott. Not exactly sure where it caught him. But Scott trying to shake it off a little bit. Palmer going to go back and retrieve the baseball. They're going to give Caleb a little bit of time to regroup. I think it caught him off his thigh there, but not exactly sure. So 1 ball, 2 strike count. Again, McKnight trying to pick up the first out of this inning. Here's a pitch. Again, fouled off. It's a great at bat by Palmer. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Palmer's shown a nice glove at second base as well. There's a pitch. He's going to dribble this in. It might fall. Here's Gesk on his horse. But still the ball's fair. Couldn't make the play. He's playing rather deep. So Palmer, a great at bat to pick up a base hit. So now 3 consecutive hits. And Brad Yeoman is going to go out and talk to McKnight. And that's going to bring up Ward Roper. Ward Roper was a starting pitcher here today. He's going to run down and check with his coach, see what's going on. So now runners at first and second, and still nobody out. We're in the top of the 7th inning. Elizabeth has scored 1 run here so far, got the lead to 8-4, and they're looking to do some more damage. Coach Yeoman out talking to McKnight. Nobody warming up for Uniontown in the bullpen. So Ward Roper, 0 for 1 today. He struck out his first time up. Got hit by a pitch and scored a run. And he walked his last time up. And he's going to drop down a bunt. Nice play by McKnight, makes a nice throw, but sacrifices 2 more runners over. So now Faycheck at third, Palmer at second. So a sacrifice bunt by Wardroper, and he's retired 1-3. That's going to bring up Mitch Lacko. Lacko 1 for 2 today, grounded out to second. His first time up, walked and scored a run and singled his last at bat. So now 2 ducks on the pond. And Lacko coming up, and that ball's going to be fouled out of play. So 1 out. And Elizabeth trying to extend this game. Waiting on deck, Nate Seiske. Coach Yeoman moving left fielder C.J. Gesk more towards the left field line. There's a pitch from McKnight. Ball outside, and they're going to throw it down to third. And caught in the rundown is going to be Faycheck, and he's going to get called out. Not good base running there by Faycheck. Faycheck had a big lead off third base. Shearer snuck behind the runner. Caleb Scott threw behind him. So Faycheck is going to be out 2-5-2. And that's going to be the second out. Runner Palmer still stays at second. There's a pop fly. Another out of play. Right over our head. So now with 2 outs, Elizabeth trying to keep this game alive. Coach Rapaski not happy with that base running there. Kind of ran him out of an inning. There's a dribbler foul. So Lacko fouls it off to stay alive. So we said Seiske waiting on deck. Here's the pitch to Lacko. Ball down and in. Infield playing straight away. There's a shot. Sankovic going in the hole, but he's not going to be able to get it. They're going to hold the runner up. Palmer had a late break, but again, another base hit by Lacko. That's his second of the day. And again, 2 runners on base for Elizabeth, and it moves Palmer into scoring position at third. So that's going to bring up Nate Seiske. Seiske today 0 for 2. And looking to keep this game alive here for Elizabeth. There's a dribbler foul down the third base line. Top of the order, Nate Radica waiting on deck. So Seiske waits on the pitch from McKnight. There's a shot to short. Sankovic is going to make the play and flip it over to Santino Mera for the final out of the inning. So Lacko going to be retired 6-4. So that's going to do it. So in the 7th inning, Elizabeth scored 1 run on 4 hits. There were no errors and 2 men left on base. So your final, Uniontown wins 8-4. Winning pitcher is going to be McLean. Picked up the save will be Braden McKnight. The hitting stars for Uniontown, Sankovic with 2 hits, Cole Shearer with 2 hits, Becker with 2 hits, Caleb Scott with 2 hits, McLean with a hit, Gillott with a triple, Bonadio with a double, and McKnight with 2 hits. Uniontown scored 8 runs on 13 hits. They committed no errors, and they stranded 8 men on base. For Elizabeth, they scored 4 runs on 7 hits. They committed 3 errors, and they left 10 men on base. So your final here after the first game of this doubleheader, it's the Uniontown American Legion 8 and Elizabeth 4. Tonight's game was brought to you as a joint cooperative venture featuring Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, Atlantic Broadband, Armstrong Cable, and our friends at CUTV, Gary Smith and his staff. I'm Tony Anola with Jerry Dupay, and this has been a South Union Township Sports Network presentation.